Most of these girls on Instagram, most of my friends who are in Miami, they all have the, big ass, big boobs, very colorful, very, big apartments, and on the boat, all that stuff. And I mean, it works, but there's too many of that already. And another aesthetic that a lot of people use is the how what was the name of this group? Something suicide, but that was on Twitter. That was on Tumblr. Back then, there were a lot of girls, suicide girls, I think. A lot of tattoos, sexy photos, a lot of tattoos. That was interesting as well. But I believe that for you, that's the perfect thing. But you have to take your production of your Instagram just a notch up. Work your photos with Facetune, with put some filters with Snapseed, and start finding, like, because to give you an example, there we go. I'm getting sidetracked already. To give you an example, what's the name of this? For example, one of my favorite Instagram ever she's a German photographer. Her name is Jacqueline Mikutas. And what I love about her Instagram is the colors. So if you check her Instagram, you see all the photos have the same aesthetic because of the color. It's the same color palette everywhere. And when you look at the Instagram, you get, she has this desaturated salmony colors, but it's more, all the blues are desaturated, and the blacks are contrasty, and it gives her Instagram, even if you don't go to one particular photo, you just enjoy her Instagram because they really have all the colors looking the same. And you see the blues are a little desaturated. Everything is more or less desaturated. The oranges and the red are almost, I would not say black and white, but she really has a color that goes with her Instagram. And this is what you want to do. I know it's more for influencers and stuff, but even with somebody who's into something sexier, when you take care of the aesthetic of your Instagram, it creates something. If you look at my Instagram, for example, my Instagram also has more or less, of course it's different. I do lines of free posts like this and then everything. But if you look at the way my colors, when I do a photo, I always use more or less the same color. I always have the same aesthetic. Of course, because I have different types of posts, it's different, right? But whenever I post a photo, I usually have my filter that I like, that I usually use. And you can see it on every photo I do. You see, this is a photo of me and Galas. You see, it's always, but of course, because I have so many different posts on my Instagram, you don't really see it. But I also have my, with me the blues are a little tinted toward purple. The color pop a lot, so it's very different from what she does. But my Instagram, if I put a black and white photo, I'm gonna put 3 more, because I want somebody who doesn't enter my profile to be able to just know that, yeah, it's lines of free. So when I do promo of my Shada wear stuff, you see, I will put free. If I put phrases, I'm gonna put free. You see, when I post something from Club Shada, I'm gonna post one, then I'm gonna put a photo, then I'm gonna put another one. And I think it's important to have to create a certain aesthetic in your visuals, because today the world is a visual thing, and people are more attracted, first of all, and the first thing they see is the visuals, especially in a world when when you look at your feed. If you go to your feed, you see, if I go to my feed, I'm gonna have so many photos coming from everywhere. You see what I mean? And because there's so many photos coming from everywhere, you tend to stop at the things that will attract your eyes. For example, these posts from Dino, look at all these yellow and stuff. This makes you want to click, you see, or good black and white from my good sister Noella. It's there's this thing about when everything is visual, what counts is what's gonna make you come out compared to everybody else is gonna be your visual. What is and there's a lot of people who don't really think about that when they post. They just post, and they don't realize that a lot of people will come for the visual thing. Like, I love to go to the first Instagram I show you, the Mikutas one. I love to come to her profile just because of those colors. I love those colors so much. Like, every time I look at her profile, I just like, wow, how they do it. Like, I would love to have that filter, to be able to do the same as these colors for maybe for a CD cover or something. And that's the thing that make me go from a profile to another. And of course, everybody will have a different reason to come to a profile, but I believe that when something is appealing to the eyes, especially in a, everybody has a phone and they're swiping up. What will make the difference and will make them stop usually is something that catches their eyes. And whatever you are trying to sell or not, if you want people to follow and to whatever you are trying to do, right? The visuals are super important.